Hey guys, we're going to go ahead and look at the cover two portion of this formation scheme and show you specific cover two beaters that we like to go to. So the first one's going to be post wheel drag, and we're going to go ahead and run this on the left hash mark. And most of these plays are going to be left hash mark based when we do this scheme, which that basically means very similar to Gun Bunch Week, where you want to have your wide side of the field to be where your most receivers are. So if you're on the right hash mark, it's not a big deal. We go ahead and just flip the plays. We have on our play call sheet the right hash version of them, so that way you don't have to kind of do the thinking for you. You basically have it there. But we're going to base most of our plays, not all of them, from the left hash mark. Okay, so on this play, I'm just going to go ahead and set up this defense, base a line. I'm going to put somebody in deep blue. The reason why I put them in the deep blue is because if they don't, this X receiver is going to be your first option. He's going to do a great job of just going ahead and tackling down the field. What we like to do for this setup is we go ahead and we max protect, put the A on a streak. We put the B on an out. Okay. Now, you're going to see that we're going to do a flood concept on the right-hand side. But what we like to do is we like to hike this R or this B to the left-hand side and then keep on pressing A, because we want to make sure that he hikes the ball as soon as he reaches the RB receiver, and you're going to have a nice easy dump-off pass to the B receiver if it's timed right. Or if the guy jumps the B, depending on sometime the coverage ratings. All these guys are 91s on the field right now. And you'll be able to throw it to the RB receiver on the sideline. So let me show you basically how this would work. So as you move this here, I'm pressing A, and you'll see that this B is going to be a nice, easy bench route. It's going to get underneath, and you're going to get some nice, easy yards. It's a real simple concept, obviously. We're going to use the motion to our advantage just to make sure that we've got that ability to attack on the right side. So that's really the read here, right? The second read is the RB. Depending on the speed correlation between the RB and the A, you may get a little bit less of a throwing area. So in my case right here, Gabriel is a very high speed guy. Hooper is not a great route, basically speed guy coming off of that spot. So sometimes I have to wait a little bit longer to throw the RB. So that's why I really like to throw it to the B as my main objective. You can also smart route this route, so it's going to be a little bit less. So depending on your players, you definitely want to play with it. So I'll just go ahead and do it with the smart route this time. And I'm going to hike this ball. You're going to see, if I'm going to throw it to the RB, I usually like to wait and then kind of throw it to him on that sideline. But depending on the speed, you're going to have a little bit of a tight throw. So work with this in practice, see how your team does, and kind of make it work. Now, again, I'm going to show you here with the smart route, with the RB, you're going to be able to throw it to this B route as well. So I really want to preach this as this is more of a throw to the B. We're creating a bench concept with the flood. Over here, hike the ball, you're going to get that B right away, right? So that's kind of how I like it now. I want to show you a trick as well for this formation with a couple of the routes. Now, if you look at this RB route, you're going to see that it's got a really nice, about 14-yard stem to its route, and then it cuts out to the right-hand side. Well, that is because the player that's in that spot, Gabriel, has higher than a 76 route running. Just like in Gun Bunch Week with PA Post, if you put a route runner that's 75 or less, so if you go to my depth chart and you look at this guy for my team, his name is Nick Williams. He's a 75 route runner, okay? I just want to make sure that you see it right on the cusp. Right here, 75 route runner, and he's got 86 speed. So he's a little bit less of a speed guy. He's got 75 route running. You can go ahead and put him in that position, and it's going to change the route to a little bit more of a rigid route, okay? And it's going to give you a little bit more options when it comes to throwing it to him. So I'm going to go to Nick Williams here, put him in there, and then pick the same play. And you're going to see that that's going to be for a couple different routes. You're going to see that on this motion Z spot, when we get into it later, I'm going to want that 75 route running because it definitely works better for this play with that rigid route. And then also when you see with the post wheel drag is the play we're picking now, both have that same route and same ability to change that route because of the route running. So if you look at them right now, see how it's rigid? It used to be a nice tight window. Now it's only at the 13-yard mark instead of the 14 to 15-yard mark. And it has a little bit of a delay before he goes to the field. So it's just a little bit different. You can definitely play with your depth chart to see if this works better for you. I feel like it does. I keep a player on my Mutt squad. He's at Philadelphia Eagle Silver. His last name's Gibson. He's got all the attributes you want, because a lot of time when you get somebody that's less than a 79 route running, they don't have the high the attributes where you're making sideline catches, basically having fights for the ball in the air, all that type of stuff, to where he's got all what you're looking for from a receiver. So just as a tip, if you're playing MUT, definitely look at that player and kind of just keep them buried in your depth chart for the ability for plays like this. So again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to move this guy over. We're going to hike the ball. And you'll see that you have a little bit better of an opportunity to kind of throw to this RB over here because of his low route running. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. I wouldn't expect you all to basically remember all this and each play, whatever the case is. That's what the play call sheets are for. We kind of give you some notes and whatnot, and kind of remind you what you can do and what you can't do with some plays. But if you're looking to run that on that side, you can definitely look at that RB as an option to put in from time to time if you're looking to hit that corner route. But for the most part, that is really what this setup is about, is really to hit the quick hitter on the right side. I just want to make sure that you see that we also have the X as an option. I typically do it when they're not doing a deep blue, which is far and few between. Sometimes you'll get that more on a short yardage situation, to where people will user that deep blue guy to give an extra kind of a hook inside. So if you see that and the guys, no one's going deep, then you could definitely throw this into this X receiver right underneath that player and have a nice easy catch. So just something to keep an eye on. It's not something that I'm going to use as a a main option by any means. Not against cover 2. Other coverages, yes, but really what you're looking for is the BRB on this route combination.